To understand absolute value, it's good to understand absolute value from the function flowchart model. So in our function flowchart model, the way the absolute value works is that if we input a positive value of a number, the absolute value will output a positive value. Okay? Technically it's not positive, it's just the absolute value of the number, which has no sign. If we input a negative value into the absolute value, it will output the same as if you put the positive version of that number. Okay, so that's how the function of absolute value works. And one thing that we want to start understanding in math is this idea that every operation has an opposite. We just go the other way through the flowchart. Okay, so undoing an absolute value involves being able to put the positive result back through in the other direction, and our output in this case is going to be positive or negative. Okay, because we know that if we get, for example, if we had 5, maybe I'll just write this out. If my output here was 5, we know that that could have come from a positive 5, or that could have come from a negative 5. Okay, so our input has two outputs when we undo absolute value. Okay, so there's two things that happen when we do the inverse or opposite of absolute value. Okay, we get the positive and negative possibilities. Okay, the other thing that I didn't list, but one thing that we are going to have to consider as well is that if we're going this way, we really can't put a negative in because no negatives come out this way, so we can't put negatives in this direction. Okay, so this is how we should understand our absolute value, and this will explain as in a lot of concepts. In fact, this will help us understand why when we undo or solve absolute value, we have to consider these two possibilities.